Hello YouTubers, Tross here. I'm playing Factorio, and I think I've done two different looks at this game in the past, but this game just came out on Steam last week. Now, technically it's still in early access, but it's now out on Steam, where it's easier to get a hold of. If you haven't seen this game before, it's a game all about automation. People will compare it to Minecraft or maybe Terraria, but it's less about crafting and exploring than either of those games, and it's more about automation. You are the game's played from a top-down view, and you are a astronaut or explorer, whatever. You've crash-landed on a planet. And you need to build up technology in order to signal some ships. I'm not actually sure whether you're trying to get home or you're trying to prepare for a colony ship to arrive. But either way, there's a lot of things you have to do in order to prepare. You start off with a pick and basic, you can dig up some stone and make a furnace, and dig up some iron and smelt it in the furnace. You have to start off with things manually, but you will eventually need thousands and thousands of pieces of iron and copper and steel. And so you can't craft everything yourself. I mean, you technically could, but it would take you weeks of playing if you were doing it all yourself. So as you see in the background picture here, you set up assembly lines, and you set up steam engines to make electricity, and you get little robot arms like this one that will take things off belts and put them in furnaces to smelt, and I'll put them in crafting machines. I actually forget what they're called. But you're not alone in here. You'll be attacked. You'll create pollution, and the pollution will attract these alien bug-like insects, and they'll attack, and you'll need turrets, gun turrets and laser turrets. But eventually, you'll get your own helpers. You'll create flying robots that will help you organize your materials and bring things from point to point. And, so I am going to... I'm not going to start the campaign. The campaign is a few levels that are basically a tutorial to the game, and I'm pretty familiar with it. I haven't played this specific version yet, but I've played the previous version, and actually several of the previous versions. So I'm going to do a new game. I think I'm going to leave everything normal. And I'm gonna start playing here. I'm not sure how long I will play. I'm sure some of this will be time-lapsed because there are some dull points in the beginning. So, let's just start here. Task is to launch a rocket to explore space. Do this by constructing a rocket silo and launching a rocket with a satellite. You need research and advanced technology in order to unlock the rocket silo. Start small, work your way up with automation, and don't forget to protect yourself from the natives. So here I am. Let's you can use WASD to move around. You can zoom in and far out. Ores are right here on the surface. This is copper, coal. We got some iron. We actually have pretty good size. There's trees you need for wood. There's some oil patches. You basically build a little derrick over these. And we need stone, though. Here's a bit of stone. So we do have a few things. We have one burner miner drill, and we have one furnace, and I'm going to build myself a pick. And it went down here. Down in the bottom left is little things you build. Things basically build pretty quickly. I'm going to collect a bit more stone, and then we'll start going for the real automation here. Well, it's going to be a while before we're fully automated. I think 15 should be good for stone. And it's going right into my inventory. 13, 14, 15. There we go. Yeah, they've overhauled the graphics since the last time I played. So some of these icons are new to me. Oh, I don't have enough to make one of those yet. And it's starting to get dark. Get about 10 iron. Alright. Now we get some coal here. You see my pick is getting used up. The icon is going down. And we do have a handgun and a few magazines. Alright, that should be good for just the start. I'm going to put down a furnace. Right click on it. Put some fuel in here. Put the iron in there. Now you can see as I mouse over here, in the center right at the bottom of that dialog, it shows it like 5.1k, that's how much coal is underneath this. And you can actually rotate the object around with R. The little arrow is where the output will be. That looks good. I right clicked. You have to put things relatively close, but like you can see, you don't have to be right next to it. Alright, I now have 14 iron plates. I should be able to make another burner miner drill. And just get a little more. So I have a second burner miner drill. And I can actually put these so that they face each other, and this is actually going to automatically have one fill the other. And now, basically, they're going to forever produce coal until the coal under them runs out. Which is nice and helpful for me. I'm going to need a little more iron. Not sure how it's set up exactly, but for some reason, raw materials go directly into your inventory, whereas things you craft, will go into your hotbar. I think my pick's about to run out, and there you go. You can still get items, but it takes a whole lot longer without a pick. I'll get 15 again. Yeah, there is a day-night cycle in the game. I think it's on the order of 15 minutes. There's a whole map view. These pink are oil. You see the colored areas are different ores. And there is actually different biomes. You can see that here's grassy, here's more dirt with trees. Speaking of which, some wood would be helpful. I'm not sure if the wood actually grows back at this point. Although there are mods, and I know at least one mod does. Oh! I thought I put the iron in there, and I put stone and got stone bricks. That's okay, we can just mine some more stone. We need the stone for making those furnaces. Yeah, it's not always one-to-one. I think it takes 2 bits of stone ore to make 1 stone brick. I definitely know if you have copper plates, you get 2 wires per copper plate. Wires are used a lot later on. So basically, it's a little bit of a grind right now. I'm basically going for electricity. For that, you need a steam engine, you need some pumps, and you need these boilers. The boilers are made out of pipes and stone furnaces. Pipes themselves are just made out of iron plates. You also have underground pipes that lets you walk over them, otherwise these will block your movement. Once you have electricity, you can use inserters. Now there's burner inserters which run off coal, but they're really only useful for carrying coal. If they're carrying, if the belts that go past them have anything, well, if they have if they don't have coal, the burner inserter will eventually run out of fuel and you'll have to manually fill it. Okay. Here's transport belts. They're used a whole lot in the game for moving things around. Basically, oh, did these things stop? These things stopped because they got full. So I can take that coal now, and I will be able to use it all for other things. Right now, I need to make some more drills, and I'm going to make a wood chest, and let's just put this here. Actually, let's take that. So this burner miner drill, maybe it's 10-minute night cycles. This is producing iron ore. The iron ore is going right into this furnace, and this furnace is now producing iron plates. So I can just come by here and grab iron plates, but you see it's going at a good rate, but this is horribly slow actually. By the end of the game you're making hundreds of these a minute instead of, I don't know how much I'm doing right now, maybe 15 a minute. Maybe it's 20 a minute. I don't. I was going to have the output go directly into here, but and then I'd have to manually move the items into a furnace. But we're gonna make another drill here, and you can see when I click it, make some gears, make a furnace, then make the drill out of the gears, furnace, and a few plates. And we had copper over here. One more furnace, so we'll be making copper plates. I won't need them right away. Let's come over here and take coal out of these. and something like that. Alright, we can make a steam engine now. We're going to need to make an electronic circuit, though. And for that, we need an iron plate and copper wires. So, we're going to need... gonna need more stone. You might have missed that, but the game just auto-saved. I think by default it auto-saves periodically, let's say. Yeah, 10 is plenty. Build another drill. This one, I'll just put a chest down. Because I want the raw stone. Alright, 34 copper plates. We actually have more copper right now than we have of iron. So we're going to make one offshore pump. Really like to have like 3 boilers, but one is a decent start. And we'll make some pipes. You can actually right-click, and that will make multiple, I think. Looks like it's 5 at a time. Alright, I think... Where's a good place? These are gonna... Let's get more stone, and I'll make another few other boilers. But we're almost ready for our first real automation. I'm going to put the pump here. You can see it lights up green. Can only be placed like right on the shore of a, well, right on a shore. I'm going to put one pipe there. And we put an underground pipe. That's pretty good. And I'll put my steam engine here. Now we're going to need something for the steam engine to power, or else it's pointless. All these current drills run on coal. How are we actually doing that? And we still got plenty there. This is a electric mining drill. I don't think that icon's actually been updated yet. not only does this one run on electricity, but it also covers a bigger area. You can see the green area is the area that it covers. And I'm going to... I'll put that there. We're going to need... Early game, you need a lot of iron. And I think late game... Well, you still need a lot of iron, but I think the amount of copper you need goes up late game. Interesting thing with these transport belts is I believe you get 2, yeah, it says 2x transport belts for the crafting recipe. And I'm going to need more than that, huh? Really, at this point, you'd probably want a few more of these miners on iron, but you're still not going to be enough, are you? Let's pick you up and oh, that'll be fine. Three curve, exactly the right amount. Alright, I'm going to make some electric poles. And I'm going to need an inserter for 3. Okay. You can actually, there's a way to... Well, that's not what I wanted. This is the tech tree. Well, it's not really a tree, but... yellow are things you can work on. These are all new icons, too, so... I'm not familiar. I'm used to the old icons, which were actually like half the size. Red, you can't research yet. You don't have the prerequisites. Yellow, you can research. And green, you have already researched. Back to my inventory. There's a way to... like I want electric poles always to be here. And I'm going to put normal... Let me put conveyor belts and then normal inserters. You can change them later. I wheel clicked on those. And let me... The only thing is, they'll only allow those objects in those spots, but they don't automatically keep them filled if you have some in your inventory. So this is an inserter. It takes from the line side and will place things down in the... triangle arrow side. But they need electricity, that's why they're blinking. And this is saying, hey, I can provide electricity, but I'm not hooked up to anything. So you put down electric poles will power anything in the little area of effect there, or they'll take power. You can actually hold down and walk, and it will place them as far apart as possible, while still being connected. You go too far and you see the wire doesn't reach. Different types of electric poles have different areas. So this, you see, is no longer blinking. It can provide power. These things are now red. They're saying they're hooked up to an electric network, but that network doesn't have power. I'm also going to hook this guy up. That I was too far to place that. So we're basically ready to go, except it has water. It doesn't have performance or available performance because the temperature of the water is only 15 degrees. That's Celsius, which is not warm enough to produce steam for the steam engine. So I am going to just fill this with fuel. And this will start heating the water. You can see the temperature is going up. And you can see the steam engine is coming to life. And as the water temperature increases, the available performance increases. Performance is actually what is being used. Now we're producing electricity, and that started this miner. The miner is producing coal. The coal is moving over here, and the inserter is picking it up and putting it in the boiler. So we'll have 3 boilers instead of just 1. Although right now, since you have so little usage of electricity, we don't need full 3 boilers. Only 1 is actually running. Additionally, you can see the water is actually moving in the pipe, and like there's a lot more white bubblies showing that it's hotter water than the water we're pulling out, which is cool. And this is the basis of the game, basically. Got a little steam engine, and we have automated to keep the steam engine fueled with coal. We now just basically are doing the same thing with everything else. So, over here I can build an electric mining drill. And instead of going directly into a furnace, I'm just going to well, I can go directly into a furnace. Generally, you don't want to. Let's build some stone furnaces. Now, also, this is faster than, besides having a larger area effect and running electricity, it's also faster. So one of these can keep, well, let's say more than one furnace running. Probably use up all my, yeah. So we still have some automation to go. One interesting thing that you figure out about the game, let's move this here. You might have noticed it. Oh, it's getting dark. Belts actually have 2 sides. You can see I'm putting the coal on the left side of this belt in the direction it's moving, and the right side is still free. You can have other things run on the belt. Alright, let's now this will just be my initial, I always say this will be my initial production line. I'm probably going to tear it down and completely replace it at some point. Probably don't need all of that, but 3 more isn't going to help too much. Basically, I just need a few more belts, and then a bunch of inserters, but we can, with like 2 inserters, get this, 3 inserters, let's say, get this working initially. have about another 4 belts. Well, when I said 4 belts for 4 production belts, which is really 8 belts. Let's see. One, 2, 3. Okay. You're good. That's good. Closer. A little too far. Place that. Okay. We're producing iron and we're producing coal. Now we just get our inserters here. I'll put this one like that and one like that. So this should grab iron from one side of the belt and coal from the other side of the belt and produce iron plates. We're out of copper. That's fine, we have plenty over here. We've run out of... no, we... It's only hold 100. Now we've run out of coal. Alright, I'm going to put down chest right here. So now we're going to fill this chest with copper plates. And we can actually get this running a little faster. By here, set up a second. Of course, it looks like I need one more belt. And we're automated. At least the beginning here. Now we have copper production automated, but there isn't much we can do with just copper. We have iron production automated. Now we can automate copper production, and that is something we really should do as well. But from there, we need to do... well, we need to do research to unlock more stuff, because we can't really make a lot of things right now. The most important thing right now is this science lab. You need at least one science lab to research and unlock additional tech. But you have to feed the science lab things like automation. This needs 10 science pack 1s fed into either one science lab or one each into 10 different science labs, and this will unlock the assembly machine. This is a machine you can tell it, this is what I want to craft, and you have arms that feed it the materials, and it will automatically create that crafting item. Now, this one can only produce items that only use 2 ingredients, and it will craft it at half the speed you can, but it will craft things automatically. You can have multiple of them making the same item if you need it faster. And this will also unlock a long-handed inserter. The long-handed inserter is just like these normal inserters, but instead of grabbing from right next to them, they can grab from an extra spot away and drop off to an extra spot away. So that's useful if you have multiple belts running alongside each other for reaching over one belt to another belt to get the items it needs. But yeah, this is just the start. This is actually the boring part of the game, because now that we have automation and electricity, which you see we're using maybe a third. It's actually really neat. You can click on any of the power poles, and this shows production, and no, this is consumption, this is production. You can see our mining drills are using, we have 3 of them, they're using a constant amount of electricity. The arms use variable amount, they use very little when they're not moving, more when they are moving. So you can see as different ones, we have 10, as they move or aren't, they use different amounts of electricity. You can actually see the change over time. Maybe we only had 1 at this point, and then now we are up to 10. Yes, and 50 hours is actually needed in certain cases. I've definitely have had games that go 40 hours long on a single map. This is a similar type of thing for your items. How many? Looks like we're making 24 a minute or 32 a minute, depending on, I guess, just the rates. And copper, you can see we weren't for a while there. We were producing copper. This is 1 furnace worth. You see then when that we filled up, we weren't producing any. I guess we did produce a few bricks back here, but now it's been 0 since then. Consumption, this is using up. We're using up the ores. And the colors aren't really color-coded. It's just like the thing that has the most will get this color, and then the next one will get the yellow color. So you can use those tools there to really optimize how your production. You can see any things that are backed up. Like, oh, we could be producing more copper plates, but we don't have enough ore, so you might want to build some more. This ran out of fuel, but we don't need it anymore. So we can tear this down. But I think I'm going to leave this here, this episode. We have shown at least the basics. Next time, we'll start some small copper production, like maybe something equivalent to this. Maybe not even. Probably 3 furnaces worth will be enough. And then we'll start some research. And then from there, defense. We're producing... Oh, let's... I haven't shown it, but a useful thing is the Alt key. This shows what everything is producing or containing. And then there's a way to show... Oh, on the map, it also... You see the red area... reddish is pollution. Now, we're not producing that much pollution. It's not a problem yet. But as we keep going, you can see we got steam and some smoke. Pollution will become an issue, and we'll start having some natives come over here and try to, well, destroy the pollution-producing things like these furnaces, and also, me. So we'll need to research some defenses. But I think eventually we have some good ores here. If we clear out a space, we can get a production line. Well, maybe we want to go this way. There's less trees and more space this way, but eventually we'll need to scout out and find some additional sources of raw materials, because these piles aren't going to last us too long. Now, it'll get us a significant way into the game, but we're definitely going to need some more eventually. I think we have the least coal of any, although there does seem to be another deposit down here. But, as I was saying, I think I'm going to end this episode here. So, if you like this game and want to see me continue playing it, leave a like or a comment, or leave a suggestion for some other interesting building and logistics games that I could try out. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.